let's dive on in. First off, I want to say thank you for all the incredible positive feedback from last week. My DMs and everything were just overflowing from you guys, and I so appreciate y'all in this community so much. Last week I was in my 2-week wait. We were gearing up to find out if it's going to be pregnant or not. And if you've been on social media, you have seen that we're not pregnant again.
Yep.
So we're going to kind of talk about it all and next steps, where we are, all the things. So, I kind of had like in the back of my head, there's no way this cycle is going to be the cycle that I'm pregnant because of how stressed I was. And I mean, you've seen it firsthand. Like, I don't handle stress very well.
Nope.
And it's funny because like whenever we first started trying to conceive, I didn't even realize I was stressed.
Yeah, you have been told by, I think, like 3, maybe 4 different, like, doctors or acupuncturists or people you talk to, and they're like, your body's carrying a lot of stress, this stress, that, like, and they can, like, I don't know if you're going to tell the story later, but, some of them are, like, Eastern medicine, and they'll do something hilarious, like, show me your tongue. And then they'll look at her tongue and they'll be like, yep, your hormones are out of whack or something, whatever. So.
Which, okay, I know you're a little skeptical about that tongue thing, but let me just say, every time they've told me about my tongue, it's true.
I'm growing in like acceptance of the possibility that there are people out there with such specialties that they can look at a tongue and just be like,
this is Eastern medicine. Like, this is like...
But even beyond the tongue one, like acupuncture, so your doctor or whatever, like there's also just like... Had blood tests ever shown like raised level of like cortisol or something? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So we've confirmed with multiple sources that your stress levels are hard to manage.
Yeah, but I've come a really long way. Really long way. Yeah. Just this past cycle, I feel like there were just so many things that were stacked up. And then, it was the first cycle we were able to try to see, like we really haven't gotten a fair chance of trying to get pregnant this whole year. January, my body was recovering from my December surgery. February, we did Clomid, but my doctor was on maternity leave, so we didn't get to see how my body responded to Clomid. Spoiler, it didn't respond well.
Yep.
I didn't ovulate. March, still hadn't seen my doctor, did a second round of Clomid, went in for a monitored cycle, and she was like, you have some leftover follicles that are now cysts. Doesn't look like you ovulated last cycle. You're not going to ovulate this cycle. We need to shoot you with some progesterone to get rid of all of this. So we didn't get a try in March.
Right.
And then that's when I was like, what do we do? What do we do here? And that's when Dr. Yee with Get Project Life Herbs stepped in. And I feel like, I don't know, it was kind of like a godsend, like the timing and everything of it, because I was at like a very frustrated point. You always hear about all these women who do laparoscopic surgery and then get pregnant, like within a few months. And like, I've had 2 and it hasn't happened with either.
Right.
So I was just like so frustrated with my body, and then doing these herbs, and I was like, okay, we're going to step back, do a more natural approach here. And then from there, that was March, April. Well, March we didn't get to try. That was April, May, June. Here we are in July.
Yeah. Oh, we thought we had something, but I mean, I'm still like...
Did you think at all this past like 2 weeks there was a possibility like I was pregnant?
Yeah, I mean, we'd just done a lot of stuff. I was like, we're a full 6 months away from surgeries. Sure, like, even if you don't think herbs, I don't know, like, various listeners, like, it's not medical grade stuff, but it's like, your body was as healthy as it could be in terms of
and
like...
my body responded really freaking well to those herbs. So, like, through blood work and everything. It was showing that it was very effective.
Yeah, and even your day-to-day, you were sleeping better.
Yeah, and I noticed when I got off them, because I got off them right after ovulation. So peak day, I stopped. And Dr. Yee told me, if you are, like, after peak day... my brain. If you're not pregnant, you start them again. When your period shows up, you start them again, and then you do them till peak day again. And this may be a few cycles. Like, he was like, it may give yourself a few months, a few cycles of trying, because what is the statistic? Like Some, it's like even if everyone's perfectly healthy, there's like a 20% chance.
It's still like 25. It's pretty low.
Yeah, 25%
Don't quote
chance.
me. Google it, but it's low.
Yeah, it's between 20 or 25% chance you get pregnant. And that's if you and your partner are 100% healthy and everything goes right. Right? So it was like, obviously, a little soul crushing that it didn't happen the first time.
Yeah.
But, we're still like extremely hopeful. And
Well, yeah, I think you go back on to the herbs and you keep cleansing, and then it also opens up, like, we haven't done a medicated cycle really where it's been post-surgery, a lot of recovery time, body at its peak.
That's very true.
That's another thing I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. And Dr. Yee has, like, he's not against trying Clomid again. I will not do letrozole again because of how dark that was.
Yeah.
Not for me. But I would like to try Clomid again if my body needs it. So, this last cycle, whenever I asked you, like, did you think I was pregnant? Like, I feel like if we reverse that question on me, I mean, the 2-week wait is such a wild time for the woman because you're in these 2 weeks, you're like over analyzing and examining everything. Like every time I wiped, I tried to see if there was implantation blood. Like every time, I felt something, I was like, oh, my boobs feel a little bit sore, or, oh, I kind of have a headache today, or, oh, I'm more emotional. Like I cried more last week than I've ever cried in a year. I feel like. So I was like, oh, I'm more emotional, maybe.
Yeah.
But then you think like with all the stress and like Dr. Yee and, my other napro doctor and all these naturopaths, like every doctor I've gone to, I mean, we've like narrowed it down to like what's going on. And it really is like stress and inflammation. Yeah. And like stress causes more inflammation. Like, and inflammation hurts so much in your body, your egg health, your hormones, it really causes huge issues here. So it's like, okay, we're doing everything we can. We're just going to continue on. And like, my favorite thing I say always is control what you can control. So much of this trying to conceive journey is completely out of our control. We can't figure out when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, there are certain things I can control, like my diet, exercise, doing these herbs, getting enough sleep, managing my stress, like spending time with good people and like quality people in your life. Exiting out all toxicity on all levels, like with my products, people, conversations, everything. So yeah, I mean, there were times in this past 2 weeks that I was like, maybe I'm pregnant. Like maybe this, and the fact that it was July, like that month just has so much significance to us. My ovulation lined up on the exact same time we got pregnant the last time. We happened to be at the lake, like all these things lined up that I was like, this gonna be it, God? Like, how cool is this gonna be? You'll turn these bad dates into incredible dates.
Right. It's hard not to see the like, I don't know, these like when you're looking for it, like you see the signs and everything, and it all is culminating, and it's like
that's also so crazy because when you look for it, you see it. Yeah. Because I took the pregnancy test Saturday. And I didn't take it when I first woke up because I was so anxious, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, and like. There's also another layer added onto this for someone that's sharing their journey so publicly. Like, I want to record when I take a positive because, I mean, I want that memory. But it also is like some added stress, anxiety of being like, okay, I have pressure, right? That I need to record this. And like, I'm so sick of recording negatives. I have so many negatives in my camera roll. And like, sometimes I like do just prefer to wait until my period shows up to see what, rather than taking a negative test. But this time, my doctor was like, we want to make sure like everything, your blood levels, if you are pregnant, all your blood levels look good. So the sooner we know, the better. So I would like you to take a test. So I was like, okay. So Saturday, Stephen went to go run some errands. And that was another thing. I was like, do I want you here to take the test with me?
That's what we talked about. Addie's kind of been a little bit secretly taking... Or not secretly, but she'll like take it.
Because I want that moment so bad where I can surprise you.
I know, you're going to bring it to me and all that. But I think we need to switch to like a lottery ticket method where it's like we're both going to look at the numbers together and see
I know. It just sucks because like that moment's taken away.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Trust me, I'll be just as excited.
I know. So yeah, Stephen went to go run errands and I was like, do I take the test? Do I not take the test? What do I do? And I was literally like sitting in our room on the floor you were gone for like 2 hours. It was like an hour and a half. I was sitting in there and like literally I'd get on social media and I'd be like, okay, if I see, a rainbow, or if I see, twins, or if I see positive pregnancy tests, that's a sign. That's going to mean, and guess what? In that hour and a half, I saw all 3 of those things.
You're looking for the signs.
Right? So I was like, okay, is this a God wink? Is this like...
The God wink thing has been going on for about a month and a half now, I feel
God
like.
winks have gone on for the past 3 years. I just first started telling you about them.
Well, they've amplified, I'd say.
Yeah. But yeah, these whole God winks where I'm like, okay, is this a God wink or is this coincidental? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Because also Saturday night, we were going to go have dinner with my parents. So I was like, if it is true, and Steven's going out of town this week. So I was like, it would just like, we just need to know because then we can move forward with things and not wait. So, and I was 13 days post-ovulation. Like I would have you get like your period comes around 14 days post-ovulation.
Okay.
So the results are accurate.
Yeah.
So I finally built up the courage to go do it. I recorded it. It was negative. And then I kind of just was like sitting there. Steven came home and I feel like you just knew. Like I didn't first like just come to him and say like I got a negative test because I was like, this is another thing with trying to conceive. In my head, I'm like, maybe it's still going to be positive. Maybe my pee wasn't potent enough. Maybe it was too late in the day. Maybe, it just hasn't happened yet. But like, I've done this enough times where I know like 13 days post-ovulation, my pee was extremely yellow. Like it was potent. Yeah. It wasn't pregnant. But like in my head, I was like, maybe we just wait. But yeah, I feel like you knew something was up.
It didn't take Sherlock, to be honest. You were a little bit down. It was like something was going on, and at first I was like, okay, it could be other things, but as it continued, and it was like, what the heck is going on? And finally, pry, and then...
Well, I was like, do I tell him? Do I not tell him? Do I tell him? Do I not tell him? Because I knew the moment I was going to tell you the waterworks were going to start again. I was going to have to feel all the emotions again. And that's like really, truly one of the shittiest parts of, finding out you're not pregnant when you're doing it alone. You take the first hit in the bathroom by yourself, whether it's a negative pregnancy test or seeing your period, and then you have to go relay that news to your partner, and then for me to the world.
Yeah, I think anyone can relate to that for other things. I know when we had our first miscarriage and stuff, like the hardest part is saying the words out loud. It just like adds another layer of like, oh, this is so real. So
yeah, it's like, wow, this is not happening. Like it's not our turn again. And I mean, that was something I said. I didn't even know, like when I take the videos of me taking tests, I feel like I black out. Like I don't even know what I said. And then when I would put up the video at the end of it, I said like, why can't it be our turn yet? And like those words are just so true that it's like, why? And I know you and I have had like in-depth conversations about this with so many things, but like, why is God not letting it be our turn yet?
Right.
Why is he not making the way?
Yeah, I mean, I think we get caught in, we see so many reasons why now would work, or, we can only have access to this like present moment, present time. So it's like our whys make sense in the fact like you have to trust that there's a reason, but it's like hard. Like you don't know what it is. Like you don't have access to like why it all makes sense. Hopefully one day we get 10 years out here, have some kids, and it's like, sense. Like I see where your hand was at work here.
And I know like whenever we do have a child, whether it's, from our genetics or it's adopting, we're going to be like, we would have never had this child if things worked out differently. Like, not to say that we wouldn't want the other child if things worked out that way, but you know what I'm trying to say here? Yeah. Like it's one day, I say this all the time in my head. Like I know right now it doesn't make sense, but one day it'll all make sense. Like God's plan is greater than mine. Like even though I think I know the best timing, I think I know when it would like be the best, right? It's like God knows better and he's doing all things for good. And that just because I'm saying that doesn't mean I don't struggle with that, because I do. I 100% struggle with that all the time. Yeah. But I have to constantly remind myself that and be like, okay, we're on the right path. We're going the right way. We're doing all the things we can do. I'm controlling what I can control, letting go of what I can't, and just we have to continue to move forward. So like, although I thought this month, like this cycle would be the best thing ever, Dr. Yee has told me, and he told me before we even tried this cycle, like it may take a few cycles.
Yeah, we knew this going in. I think, though, you do an herb treatment for 3 months and you have natural buildup where you're like, I want it to happen now.
Right, and like finally given like the good shot to try. And then we didn't do monitoring last time. So we haven't exactly gotten to see how it's affected, like how many eggs I'm having or like how my body is ovulating because, I have struggled with LUFS in the past, luteinizing on ruptured follicle syndrome. It doesn't happen every cycle, but it does happen some cycles. But it didn't work out to go in and do monitoring last cycle because I ovulated on July 4th weekend. We were out of town. Doctors were out of office. So this cycle, the plan is to go in. Well, I started the herbs again. We are here doing the herbs. I'm doing the herbs. You're there for moral support.
Thankfully, I don't have to. Doesn't benefit me, to my knowledge, right?
No. I asked because some people reaching out to me being like, like my husband's having it's male infertility factors. Does it help? And I reached out to them and they said no. It's only female. So maybe there are certain herbs that do help male, but Dr. Yee isn't that person. So
I would drink them with you out of sympathy for no reason, but it's not worth the cost. I'd say,
no.
The money.
So we're going to we started the herbs again. I'm drinking the herbs. We're hopefully going to I can get in. I don't know. I haven't been to her in so long. I haven't seen her since March.
Yeah.
I'm literally so excited. I don't think I would think I'd ever say this, but I am so excited to see my NAPRO doctor.
4 months.
4 months. And when I left, she was like, I'm going to miss you, but I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
And so I'm so excited to go back and see her and do some monitoring, kind of see what's happening on the inside, how my body's responding to these herbs. We've seen through blood work really great things with my progesterone, estrogen, my inflammation levels. What else? Oh, my thyroid. That was a huge one. We're also going to do blood work again this cycle, hopefully, to look at these numbers again, just to see things change and fluctuate all the time. So feeling good, feeling really good. I feel very hopeful. I know when I posted that video yesterday, it's so interesting. We're recording this on Monday. So I posted the video Sunday. But it's so interesting. Like, I love this community so much of women here to support me. But because this cycle I gave such in-depth timeline of like when I was going to be ovulating and people know when that means I could get a positive pregnancy test. I had so many women last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday messaging me and being like, have you taken a test yet? Have you taken a test yet? Have you taken a test yet? And I was like, and it was kind of funny because I would open them and I just wouldn't respond because, again, it puts a lot of pressure on me. And I mean, I did it to myself. Like, I put it out there. And I've heard women say this about when they're going to give birth that are on social media, that they're like, yeah, all of a sudden I like won't show up in the morning when it's around the time I'm going to give birth. And everyone's like, are you in labor? Are you in labor?
Yeah.
And I think it's just something we have to realize, like, they're going to tell us when they want to tell us, I don't think anyone's going to announce they're pregnant in their DMs before they announce it.
Not how I would go about it.
Yeah, no. So, or that they gave birth or whatever. But, there was this one girl that messaged me and we talk all the time, but she was like, have you taken a test yet? And then I opened it, didn't respond. And a few hours later, she was like, I'm so sorry. I hate when people ask me that. And I can't believe I just asked you that. Like, I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's all out of like, it's all with good intent.
Right. 100%. Absolutely. And I'm not saying this like, don't do that. That's so rude. It's just like, I think I kind of just want to give you some insight of like how it is on my side of things too. Like it for me, and everyone's different, but like, it adds like extra pressure. It adds extra anxiety around it all. And just like, do I do it? Do I not do it? Like, what is it going to be? And like, I try and put myself in the shoes of like, and this was something I haven't done in a while. I put myself in the shoes of if it was positive and I kind of started to freak out. Like, I don't know, pregnancy after loss. I think those first few weeks are just going to be scary.
Oh, yeah.
It's just going to be like you're holding your breath until you continue to get good news. And now that I feel like my eyes, because I share about infertility and I follow so many people going through it, my eyes are opened up to so much about it now that it's like I've seen people have losses past their first trimester. And I know. It's just like things like that you're just open to, you're just more aware of now that it's like,
well, yeah. I've always thought when like you tell me like I'm going to be really excited, it is going to be great, but there's going to be this like this part of me that just wants to be like hold off from like latching on until we're past 6 weeks, like hold, because like that was just so much excitement and then gone. So it's just like you're afraid for that to happen again.
I think those first 6 weeks are going to be the hardest because we're going to be like, okay, this is how it was last time. This is the week it happened last time. This is the day it happened last time. So it's going to be like,
okay, your brain might take it one step further, but I'm just going to try and detach for a bit and make it past. Not overanalyze the thing. But that's
like still be there to support each other through it too. Like we're not going to ignore that it's happening.
No, but I'm just like not going to be like, I'm going to try and not count down the days.
Yeah. And then, when I did share the video that I wasn't pregnant, I had so many women in my DMs being like, well, how many days post-ovulation are you? You could still be pregnant. You could still be pregnant. Like maybe wait a few days, take a test. Well, I did this and like waited a few days and took a test. And I was like literally sitting there like I've already gone through all of these scenarios in my head.
I am guilty of doing that too. I think
no. And like my best friend who checks up on me all the time, which I love her so much, and like I appreciate it too, like said the same thing. And like I'm not taking this in a negative way. Like I'm not taking it's just a way that it's like, yeah, I've already had these thoughts. Like I've already gone through this, and like this is hard, but it's like I feel like I just know my body well enough, and like I don't know, like I just it's not.
Well, I always have hope that you don't know your body.
I know, and you never know, it could happen. I've seen where it has happened to women. I'm not saying it's like not possible, but it's just, it's kind of like I'm trying to just go to acceptance that this isn't the cycle. It's not it. And then when you hear that, it's like your brain starts to play tricks again of like, oh, maybe. And then it's like, I just want to accept it's not and move forward, like continue on. But it's just, it is what it is, but I do appreciate like everyone's messages. Like I can't even tell you how incredible it is getting the support from this community in the comments and the messages. I mean, so many people just saying like, I appreciate you sharing so open and honestly. It's helped me to be able to share more and, just being like, we're praying for you. Stay hopeful. You got this. Like I would say like 99.9% of the comments are so incredible and like so supportive. And it's also kind of wild too, like when you share your journey so openly, you kind of see the people that like reach out to you and are there for you and like want it. And part of me, like I don't expect anyone to reach out to me. I literally do not expect it at all.
Right.
The one person I expect it from is my mom because she watches everything and she always reaches out and says things. But like anyone else, I do not expect it whatsoever. And in my head too, sometimes I'm like, we've been through negative so many times. I've posted negative tests so many times. People are probably like, she's got this, she doesn't need to be to talk to or whatever. But like, I don't think people realize how supportive and helpful it is to get that support and just being like, I mean, even if like I had one of my friends, Kate, message me and she was literally just like, saw your TikTok. I just wanted to say, I love you. I'm thinking about you. It's still going to happen. It's not even like, questions like, how are you doing? It's just like here for you, it was just like, so I don't know. It just feels good to like have that support still there. And like, of course, like I said, in my head, I'm like, I don't expect it at all. And I know like at this point, people are like kind of expect the negative, I feel like, just because it's been so many negatives for so long, but it really is incredible. And I hope you have people in your life that are doing that for you too. And if you're not, you can always DM me. I got you, girl. I can always be there to support. But, how are we feeling moving forward? How are you feeling?
I think hopeful again, like, okay, we're going to do some testing. We're going to see what the effects in the body are. Going to do a medicated cycle.
Maybe. We're not doing medicated cycle right now.
I know. Potentially.
Which we didn't talk about that. So this cycle, we're doing 0 medication, just herbs. Again, going to do monitoring, see what that looks like, all of that. And then if my doctor is like, hey, your body may need a little push, let's try Clomid again. That may be something we do next cycle or a few cycles from now. I don't know. We're going to see. And again, Dr. Yi with Project Life Herbs was never like against, what is it? Western medicine? Is that what Clomid is? Western medicine? Because Eastern is the other
called
one.
medicine, but yeah.
Yeah, so he isn't against Clomid or anything like that. He's just like, let's just make sure your body needs it and it's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the game plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm feeling hopeful too.
Hopeful, and then how you started, control the controllables again. You're going to do your herbs. I think you are honing in on, you're limiting a few more things from your diet, I know.
Yeah.
Well, you just got a treadmill, which I'm very excited about. Just like trying to get back into fitness. And did you talk about 75 hard at the beginning of the year? I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're not doing that again necessarily, but like trying to do something.
Yeah, last
to,
episode I talked about how like I've felt so out of control. Like everything that's like, okay, I really need to hone in on controlling what I can control. And I said like we're doing a rendition of 75 hard.
Yeah.
But I hate even saying that because if you've done 75 hard and you listen to 75 podcasts, they're like, you can't call it 75 hard. And we're not.
And we're not. We've done the real 75 hard one. We crushed that shit.
We did.
We're just doing something similar because I went through, I basically did great. It was awesome. But then I had surgery on my knee and like basically fell off the wagon for like 2 months just on PT rehab. So I'm finally able to do some stuff. So I'm looking forward to us controlling the controllables again, doing stuff like that, staying active.
And it's great
walks.
to have like accountability buddy in your house, like doing it with you, like being like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we're eating. Like, this is what it looks like. It's so, because I've done this so many times where it's just me. And I mean, it's possible, especially if you have like an online community. That's really great. And that's why I built the online community that I have of women working out and eating right for their fertility. But like when you have that person in your house or around you doing it with you, like it's just like that extra level. So if you can find that person or have your husband, actually, let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to catch my breath when I said that. How, if there are women listening that want to have the support and have their husband get into some healthy habits that maybe he's not, and kind of just like, how you've been sometimes of like, my body's fine, like, whatever, I don't need to do it. And I don't think anyone can argue that being healthier won't help you in some way or another, right? Like maybe being healthier isn't going to guarantee you're going to get pregnant, but it is going to like make you feel better. Like there's no argument about being healthier, right? So why are you looking like you're about to argue with me about that?
I'm going to stay out of it.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, like what would your advice be to those women that are like, I want my husband to get on board. Like I want him to be support for me and with me, the accountability and all of that, if they're not?
I think you have to make the sincere ask. And I know that could always like end up with like, no, I don't want to do it, whatever. So one, if you haven't, like this, it applies differently to every scenario. If you haven't truly been like the sincere ask, like you just said, I'm going to do this, like do the sincere ask, like I'm going to do this, I would love you to do it. If you've already done that, you're like, I've already done that, doesn't matter. Another thing I would advise is like, okay, maybe find a part of what you're doing that they can join in on, right? Like start small. Like if you're doing a big overhaul, find a piece that they can do with you. That's another one. And then for me, I mean, this is all just stuff that works for me. Try and like, I don't know, challenge. I don't know how to ask them this, but like I like doing stuff with my guy friends too. Like, like the Whoop, like there's like a group and like, so I can be competitive against someone. So I guess I don't have the answers because I mean, I'm a stubborn person and sometimes have been.
Yeah,
but
it has to be your idea. That's what I've learned. Like I have tried so many things. Like 75 hard was great because it was like something we both had to really but even for that I had to really push you to get to for you to do 75 hard. Yeah. And then you were like pushing me to like
once I get going on something, but I do have to be asked. I do have to then think about it and like want to do it, and then I'm pretty good at going all in on it. I do think the small things like just like finding something that they can do with you. If it's not, I don't know what everyone's doing, but there's a lot to be done, and it's just small things. And then for me, as if you're going to be doing something healthy, try and engage, I don't know, friends or something in competition on running, diet, whatever it is. I don't know.
You love your competitions.
I like competition.
It's funny because
she hates competition. If she would humor me and like do a competition, it's like so much easier for me to get engaged there, but you don't, it almost makes you not enjoy it. So
yeah, it makes me anxious.
Yeah, like I just want everything to be competitive.
Yeah. No.
So maybe don't listen to her. Maybe if you are someone that can handle competition, at least for me, makes me thrive. It makes me excited. Like whether it's like fitness or whatever. It's like yeah.
You and your sister are like two of the most competitive people I've ever met in my life. Like you two, you and Kara are like something
the hardest
different.
Thing when we started playing like board games with my niece was like, the adults would like let her win one. I'm like, no. I'm like, what do you mean let her win one? Like she's got to learn how to beat me. What sense of accomplishment does one get if they're just getting handed wins, So
they're kids.
Yeah, but they can handle it. And
literally every single time he's played a game with our niece, we will walk away and get in the car and he's like, we're not going to do that for our kids. Like we're going to win. We have to show them.
If they want the win, they got to get the win. I'm going to, teach them the game.
Oh, God bless our future children.
Yeah.
I hope they are competitive.
Oh, they will be.
Oh, man, for your sake. But I've just noticed with him, and like I guess every personality is a little bit different. Every person's a little bit different. But like with Stephen, at least, like it has to be his idea. So like figuring out how to frame it to his idea, or like subtly dropping things
Inception.
to him.
You have to do Inception.
Yeah, like it's never worked of me going to him and being like, "Hey, I don't think you're very healthy. I'd like you to get healthy on our trying to conceive journey." Like that literally has never worked.
Probably just piss me off.
Yeah, it does piss you off, as a matter of fact.
Like I'll know it's true, but I don't know. I'm stubborn in that. But
yeah. So I don't know. Take what you want from this, and hopefully it works. And also, I'm gonna do a little plug here real quick. If you are looking for an online community of women where you can focus on your nutrition for your fertility, you can focus on exercise for your fertility, and your hormones, health, and just to help you feel better, and just have an uplifting community, that's where I have built everything from. I have the Trying to Conceive Sisterhood Group. You do have to buy a package with me, but it's going to give you access to workouts, nutrition, access to the Trying to Conceive community. You're going to get recipes, meal plans, all of this stuff, and doing it alongside other women that are also trying to conceive. I'm actually about to start a brand new start date with women, and we're going to be doing the Bar Blend program that I filmed in it. I got a film from afar and it was super cool. I filmed it a few months ago. So you'll get to see me on the cast. And this program is a spinoff of a program called Bar Blend that released like back at the very beginning of our fertility journey. Because I remember it got announced when we found out we were pregnant back in July of 2018. Wait, 2020. Sorry, 2020. Yeah. And that's when it got announced. And that's how I built the Trying to Conceive Sisterhood Group. I announced my very first group and start date doing this Bar Blend program. It was an 8-week program in November of that year, October, November of that year. And so many women went on and, now have babies. I'm not saying doing these workouts or eating this nutrition is going to get you pregnant.
Control the controllables.
Control the controllables. Control what you can control. And let me tell you, like, do you feel, I can't even get over like the endorphin rush you get after you work out, or like the accomplishment you feel like when you start eating right. And it's wild to me because I'm a health coach and I have been for almost 5 years now. And I have followed a systematic way of eating for my hormones and my body. And when I don't follow the system,
due to my bad influence.
Well, I mean, me too. Like it happens to me too. And I'm just like, oh, I'll eyeball it. Like I'll just like, see, this is how many carbs I'm going to eat today. This is how much protein I'm going to eat today. Then when you sit down and systematically track it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm eating way more carbs than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm not eating enough vegetables. I'm not eating enough fruit, like definitely not eating enough protein. It's like, it's wild to see, especially when you eat out.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Like I'm more of just a pure calorie counter when I want to do stuff. It is so mind-boggling to be like, oh, I'm going to go to get a burger and stuff. It's like a Five Guys burger is like close to 1,000 calories. It's like it just wipes your entire budget of stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, if you're looking for a system, you really want to hone in on your nutrition, want to hone in on your exercise, want to do this together, you can do it all from home. all from your home. It's all virtual. You can fill out the link in the show notes or the comments, and I will reach out to you. I normally reach out to Instagram DMs, so make sure you check your request folder. But if I can't get a hold of you in Instagram DMs, then I email you. So you hear from me and me only. I'm the one that talks to everyone. We'll just make sure it's a good fit for you and everything.
Is it competitive? And for that reason, I'm out.
Oh my gosh.
It's a Shark
You can be
Tank episode
competitive
now.
with yourself, but
I am.
I mean, the whole point of it is to teach you how to eat for your hormones, eat for your fertility, like make this a lifestyle and not just a 8-week program, which by the way, this bar program that we're doing, it is a rendition of the 8-week program, but it's only 3 weeks. And then the 4th week is like an active rest week. So it's a good place to start or to get you back going or whatever that looks like. And if you are one of my current clients, you're absolutely welcome to do this with us. Start date is going to be not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that. So give some time to be able to get you ready. And if you want to start sooner, you can start sooner. Okay? That the community's there. But okay. Well,
That's a wrap?
that's a wrap. Should we do our peaks for the week?
Yep, I got mine. So
Okay, go.
I got a treadmill. It's awesome. I've already done 2 5Ks on it very slowly. I did just knee surgery, so it's mostly like walking, jogging, but
But you're doing it.
very pumped for it.
Yeah, let's go.
So.
That's a good peak for the week. And he put it together.
I put it together. Oh my gosh. It said 2.5 hours on the instructions for 2 people. I did it alone. And I got it done in about 2.5, but it was, or was it more?
No, you did it in like 2.
Oh, okay. Well, it was
Yeah.
felt like a struggle still, so I felt accomplished doing it.
Yeah, good job. I'm proud of you.
What's your peak?
Super proud of you. I feel like my peak is just like the hope we have moving forward. Like I feel like we're one cycle closer. I truly feel that in my bones, that although it was negative, I just feel so hopeful, and I just have like this sense of peace that I can only describe as God and my faith. Just being like, keep going, you got this.
We got this.
Yeah, God wink.
God wings.
All right, well, thanks for being here with us, and we'll see you next week.